Just include your audio. Shut up. You're wild.
Let me- Oh
All
my
right,
goodness.
all
Alright,
right,
got you
guys.
up. You're good to go.
Thursday's thoughts,
Oh,
episode 13. Unless I'm off, then it'd be 14. It's
It is
kind of up to
13.
Christslayer when he
It is
labels
13.
it, so you
I
know.
checked.
It's 13. We got franchise owner Davies of Davies Delinquents. We
That's me.
got 2K and Smite player TSB Buzzard 007 Agent 007. You know how it goes. And then we got Ruth from HR, as well as RGB Panda, both captains for Danger Nuts. Ruth is the captain of the Smite team coming for the Smite League, and then Panda is the captain of the Rocket League team. Would everybody like to say hello, starting with David?
hello.
Panda?
What? Oh, me. Hey, what's good, guys?
Buzzard?
How's it going, everyone?
All right, and then moving on. No, I'm kidding. Ruth, you can go ahead and say hi.
Hi.
Savage. That's
Right?
Yeah, I'm pretty slick. You know how it goes. All right, so Thursday's thoughts, episode 13, coming at you live from our new time slot of 5 p.m. Eastern. First thing I'm going to talk about is tomorrow is Vivid's 2's tournament. Last episode I was talking about this. Vivid Bunny on Smite League. He is the captain for Pressure. He has a tournament that he was hosting by himself. It's 2's. It's tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central for Rocket League. Just so y'all know, go ahead and tune into that, watch whatever, what have you. I don't know if it's being streamed or not, but it's tomorrow. Other than that,
Me and him discussed trying to get it up on CleeG stream, so we'll see, depending on what time it is tomorrow, whether or not it is actually streamed.
that's dope. I hope it is. That'll be really awesome. I really like Vivid. And then like anybody like trying to bring more content to CleeDG without asking us to do the work is like God sent.
Hold on, and another note on that 2 subject you were just talking about. Yo, Panda, I just sent you like 10 invites. Where you at?
Oh, that's you.
Yo, Panda, you're gonna squat up with me,
Asked
right?
me to send him invites. Asks me to send him
Oh,
invites. I
was like,
send him
who is
bad
this guy
invites.
sending me invites?
That's my guy. Moving on. I'm just gonna give a quick shout out to Chip the Pleb, owner of the franchise The Lords. He went ahead and started file sharing with me, and pretty much all of the franchises are going to have, I guess, all the content available for CleeDG, like the games, what have you. So now I will be covering basically anything that the Lords are involved in. So I'm super excited. And then that was all I had there. Shout out to Chip the Pleb. I love you, Shane. You're my guy. 2K League. So right now we have our Rocket League. Other than that, we're working on our Smite League. For the Smite League to come up, we need 3 more captains and 30 more players. Once that's done, we can get the draft going, and from there, the Smite League will get rolling. And I bring that up because the Smite League has to come before our 2K League. Now I'm bringing that up because I have Buzzard here. I'm gonna ask him a few questions about 2K, NBA 2K20. He's currently in my career. So what's up, Buzzard? What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm just in the practice right now, doing some drills and stuff like that. Nothing too crazy.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask you a few. Ooh, give me a second. I didn't start my timer. I'm not timing my segments. This is about to be a sloppy episode, everybody. I'm sorry. I love you.
Oh,
Thanks for
Lord.
watching. So we got Buzzard. Let me ask you a few questions. So you've been playing 2K for how long now? How many copies of the game since they release a new game every year?
I mean, with the 2K, I mean, I started with NBA 2K12, so I guess I've been playing it for 8 years now.
Hmm. When did this this new one that came out, you get a My Player. That's been going on for all the games, correct? My Player. It's like your personal basketball player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you explain that? Since I just did a terrible
Uh,
job at doing that.
All right, so mainly with my player, you make a player. The cool part with this game in particular from all the other ones is you have legitimately like full customization of how your player is. Um, you can pick all the stats. You go through all the stats and you have so many stat points. You put them on your stats and you customize it. If you want to focus on defense, you put all your stats into that. Or if you want
Mm-hmm.
to focus on playmaking or being a scorer, you can put in that.
Mm-hmm.
All the skill points you get to put in, that's all you can get. There's no maxing anything. So it's all 99,
Oh,
so
so
your
there's no
player is
uneven
broken.
players.
Yeah.
All right,
Like
that's pretty cool.
you're giving up defense for offense and vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually made a player last night. I know I played the last one actually, the last 2K. Me
Mm-hmm.
personally, I've played Madden and I've played 2K. I have not played FIFA, but
Yeah.
oh, look, Brian Gilson's here. We should probably take care of that before the audio connects. I love you, Brian Gilson. Hello.
Goodbye.
All right. I'll miss you. Maybe next episode. But
That's 2 episodes. I feel so bad.
nah,
Well,
he
Alex,
came in last episode. Slow your roll.
we're
That's one
not in the
episode.
same lobby, by the way.
That's my guy. That's my guy though. Brian Gilson, if you're listening, hit me up. Let me like screen you and then I'll get you on the next episode or something. Cause nobody really comes to me to be on episodes other than Panda.
What? What'd you say?
I love you
Not even
Rip
guys.
Panda.
Panda.
Yeah,
Not even
Panda hit me
Panda.
up like 15 minutes before this episode
I was
started,
being
asked to be
so
on.
sarcastic. Like,
Yeah,
so
but I don't
sarcastic.
acknowledge sarcasm. I'm a superior being. But going on. Uh
Okay.
Buzzard.
Wow, we
Okay.
got hella off track here.
Yo, so what's this Pro AM thing that they added though? What's that, Buzzard?
Pro-Am's been around for a couple years now, actually. Mainly, it's
Oh, I didn't
like,
know that.
yeah, it's like competitive or ranked
Hmm.
for like Smite and all the other games. Mainly, you get a team. I haven't ever played it, so I
Nelson, you
don't.
played Pro AM, haven't you?
I have
Well, what's
not
your
that.
thought on that?
This is my first experience. I haven't played 2K in like 5 years.
How many roster spots are there, Nelson?
I know
You
there's
said
9
9.
roster spots. 8 if you include
Okay,
yourself.
that's all. That's all I need to know. All right,
Hmm.
so they're like 9 spots, so you can have up to 9 players with the team. You bring the
Hmm.
team in, and you play games against other teams. The top teams from all of it. There's a tournament usually at the end of the year that you can play for money, or there's a pro league. I can't quite remember, and they play for a crap ton of money, and it's pretty cool. It keeps
Hmm.
people engaged, and it makes them want to actually play and build their character on my career. So you're not
Yeah,
just playing
it's
against AIs the whole time.
oh, true. So there's like my players and my career and all that. Like, isn't there a difference
Mm-hmm.
between having a player and then a created player?
Uh, yeah. So for the my career, you have a player, and that's the only player you use for
That's like story
your
mode,
my
right?
career mode. And then you can create characters, and you can use those characters, your Namda rosters, and use them in
Hmm.
like a my league. I'm not sure about my GM yet, but then your player you create, you get if you use face reveal, or if you have a preset avatar, you use that avatar for your GM in my GM
Face
mode.
reveal is that app thing, right? Because
Fate
there's an
scanner.
app
You're
that you
right.
can
I
download.
had dumb mess.
No, you're cool.
Yeah, there's a.
There's an app you can download to like take a picture of your face, and then they will put that on your in-game character. I actually tried it last night, and
Yeah.
it didn't work for me specifically, but you said it worked for you, right, Buzzard?
Yeah, the first time in like 3 to 4 years it actually worked.
Yeah. Those are some good odds.
It's yeah. I mean, 25%. I said that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Granted, I tried like 10 times every game and it never worked, so I guess the odds are a lot worse. But hey, that's minor details.
Yeah, details. Who needs details? I'm not here for details. So,
Yeah.
do you have anything else to say about 2K? Anything that I haven't brought up? I have a few more questions, but like, do you have any questions for the community? Like, hey, are you guys gonna
Not
play 2K with me?
no, not really. I mean, I'm usually always with Christ the Slayer or the
Mhm.
Christ Slayer, but I'm usually playing with him. So if you ever want to play, just join his party.
Mhm.
Oh my
Butchered
god,
that
that
one.
one did me.
Yeah, so Christ Slayer, that's our like next coming league after Smite, correct? Do you want to say a little bit about
Yes.
that, or like what we need to do to get there?
We need to get a functioning Smite League through season 1, and then we'll go there. I'm not gonna reallocate any resources from the development of the CGSL towards CG2K League, but
Hmm.
as soon as the CGSL is up and running, good to go, then yeah, 2K is the next thing on our radar.
How's it gonna work? Are there gonna be like captains and all that? Like, I
Yeah,
don't understand.
it's gonna follow the majority of the system that we already have in place.
Hmm.
If I were to compare it to anything, it's probably gonna be closer to Smite. Smite's already got a 5-man roster with 5 different positions. Not exactly the same kind of game, but the principle is the same behind it. But yeah, that and like I said, that'll probably come a bit later. Like I wouldn't even put a timeable on it.
Hmm.
Smite's probably
And
got
then the
about 2 months or so before we're hopefully healthy in the season, like ready to
two
go through
months.
season 1.
That's around
Yeah,
the time the Rocket League PD Cup's gonna be done, right?
the Rocket League League Cup ends in November.
Panda,
Yes.
are you gonna take that? Are you gonna take that
Take.
Cleedy Cup, or
That was a weird
like
way
what's
to
happening there?
phrase that.
Yeah.
Gonna take
um.
that.
Are you gonna take that shit? Nah, go ahead and speak your piece, Panda. Where are you guys at? Where's RGB right now?
You guys are 3 and 5, right?
uh, yeah, we're just a little below 500.
A
Hmm.
little below, yeah. Four out of 5 would be a little below. So it is still an improvement over the record last season. So that's like the big thing that I'm looking at is like you guys got a finals title with a 3-7 record. You guys could go 5-5 this time around. Do you still have the same like feel though that maybe the magic is there to get another title?
Possibly. Like I said, anything can happen in playoffs. Um,
Hmm.
Still making those adjustments. We're still trying to find the three to have as
So
far
in
as
my
who we're gonna
opinion,
play.
the trade that you went out and did to grab Panther gave you the talent to replace Aronska as far as from like a number one standpoint. I think he can fill the number one role on your team. But I noticed he
Mhm.
hasn't been there so far. Like he
Just
hasn't
because
been
of
in a game.
scheduling.
Yeah, is
Hmm.
Yeah,
that gonna play
scheduling
a
is
bigger role in the future? Like, how are you? Are you guys gonna try to adjust around that? Is that gonna get freed up? Like, what's the plan with that? Like, what's the news?
so the plan is I'm still learning how to schedule around him. As far as the last two games of the season that are coming up, I'm trying really hard to try to make it available to him so that we can get him in and get him some chemistry within the team. Because I mean, we're playing matches with them, but they're just at odd times. And
Hmm.
I mean, I was aware of like the EU
Difficulty.
problem, yeah, the difficulty of scheduling, but I don't think it's gonna be an issue when it comes to playoffs.
Yeah, I was just. Well, I mean, I guess there's some sacrifice that will come into it as well when it comes to the playoffs. I just find it interesting because in the original past, way back when, there was an EU player that had trouble with the RGB squad because a lot of them are West Coast, so they just couldn't
Mhm.
mesh up to play. And it,
Mhm.
at face value right now, it does kind of look like that's the issue that they're gonna be facing. Moving on though, I did want to look at another roster that involves somebody that you traded away, and that's Ice with Rhea.
My guy.
Yeah, Rhea's stats have improved, regardless of how he feels or how you feel about anything. Uh, all of the trades that happened, like 95%, I don't know the actual percentile behind it. The players' stats dramatically improved the week after they were traded. In Reyes' case, he's actually got 5 points on the season now. He had none when he was traded.
Mhm.
Do you think, how do I put this? Because Audacity was sent there essentially. You see scheduling issues, trouble like that was sent there. Maria kind of being the odd man out with RGB gets sent there. Dad spotty schedule is there. Captain Canada spotty schedule is there. But they made it work this past week. Do you think they're going to be able to carry any kind of momentum with all these question marks and issues surrounding the team?
What do you mean by that? Are you talking about RGB's team or
No,
Ice?
ice.
I think it's honestly those moves are great as far as what Joker had to start with. I'm not saying that his team was bad, but I definitely can tell you with Audacity's availability, because I'm friends with him too.
Yeah.
He's a good friend of mine. His
Hmm.
schedule just opened up, and then Joker and Audacity were friends before the league too. So it's not only that he acquired Audacity as a random person, he acquired him as a friend. So there's going to be more motive for Audacity to show up, and he has. So that team definitely got you know, very threatening really quick, in my opinion.
That's
Especially with
a
Rhea's
interesting
speed too.
interesting word to use to describe it. So I'll make the note that Captain Canada is having a career season for himself, up to 11 points right now. But while there is a lot of hype around Rhea, and I'm a huge fan of Rhea, um,
Hmm.
he's never had more than 9 points on the season in his 2 seasons now. And it looks like unless he has a really solid game these next 2 games, he's not gonna. He might just barely get past 9 points if he does.
Hmm.
Um, so, and Audacity coming from like a 26 point season down to I think like 7 or 8. He might, if he plays, I expect him to crack into the teens. Um, I just don't know if there's a lot. There's a lot of like question mark players. Sure, there's a lot of talent. You feel me? Like Ray is great. Audacity's proven what
Yeah,
he could do in a season when he played. Captain Canada, now that he's been a little bit more available, is there. But like, I don't know, man. Like my big question mark is like, you can't. Can you actually rely on them game in and game out?
I dep I could definitely depend on Rhea when he was on RGB. I can tell you that defensively the guy is sound. Like if there's gonna be someone back, Rhea is back.
And
And
he's
I'm not
fast,
I'm
like
not
for sure.
very
Yeah.
fast, yes. So just to give like a shout out to Rhea's speed is like during playoffs in season 2, he subbed in, I believe it was like game 5, and the team knew that they had to pick up the pace because it was pretty much a chess match. And then when Rhea came in, everyone had to know to be speedy, or else they'll get beat.
Yeah, I feel that, but that was last season. That was last season's
Mhm.
playoffs. This is a different league than it was last season.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I
So,
think Ice will make a good run. That's what I gotta say. I think they'll make a better run than what they had last season.
Now,
As yeah, we hit
here's the
those.
question: do you think they have the potential to be the sleeper that could win it all, just as you guys were last season?
Yeah, I mean they got Audacity, man. Practically a C3 who is pretty close to GC from the last time I was watching his streams. He just needs to get back into it. You got Joker, who's practically a champ one, and then you got Rhea, who at the most I think right now, not saying that he can't be a GC, which everyone can definitely can. Right now, I think he has the potential to be a C3. So, as far as a sleeper team, yeah, I think they go under the radar as far as people take.
it got quiet.
Yeah. Did he cut out? Panda, did you cut out?
He's reconnecting right now.
Oh no.
That makes a little bit
All
more
right,
sense now.
well,
So is
I
everybody
guess
else
we
still here then?
can. I mean,
Mhm.
it says
Yeah.
everyone's still here. It says he's disconnected. You should just remove him and then reinvite him. Until he comes back. Moving on. So we have Davies here and Ruth from HR. So Ruth, you're on Danger Knots franchise. So you work with Panda, correct? Except you're on a separate team.
Yeah, we're under the same franchise, just different games.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
I'm sorry. Just a that got me.
so do you plan to play with your team, or are you going to be a more hands-off captain?
So I'm definitely including myself in the roster. I'm really excited about it. I just I could not be hands off. I'm
Uh-huh.
way too control, like hands on for that. So
That's cool.
It's good to
What
hear.
position do you play?
I'm a support main, so it's easy for me
Uh-huh.
to kind of, watch what's happening if I'm not
Speaking of
engaging.
support mains, Buzzard, you're a support main too, aren't you?
No, I'm a solo main.
Oh,
I
just
was
kidding.
back 2 years ago when we first started.
That's funny.
Close.
But it's my secondary role, so no
Same role,
worries.
right? They do the same thing,
David,
right?
what's your role?
I play jungle.
You play jungle, you main jungle.
Now,
Aren't you
David
like...
can't actually play in the league, so
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a franchise owner.
all he really provides is the management and background and expertise in the game with his fucking knowledge.
David, how much would you
Knowledge.
say... Knowledge. How much would you say your knowledge translates into you operating a franchise? Your Smite knowledge.
Can you explain that a little bit more in detail?
So, you've been playing Smite since it came out about, correct?
Oh, sorry, say that again. I also was laughing. Couldn't hear you.
So you've been playing Smite for a long time, correct?
Yeah, about 3.5 years.
How much of your experience and knowledge in Smite translates over to you operating a franchise?
Well, I would say it comes down to just helping the team kind of synergize together. So what I've learned in the past, I would say it's more of the past year, the past 3 years, because my first 2 years playing Smite was just me kind of casually playing the game like everyone else. I play ranked every once in a while. I didn't really play to really learn the game. I kind of played to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
But this past year, I would say it's been really like a learning experience for me. As a competitive player, I've learned a lot. And I think that translates to running a team because I understand what it takes for a team to be successful. Because I am on a pretty successful competitive team right now,
You're on a
and
competitive team? What's it called?
we're called Exilium Origin.
Mm-hmm.
We're part of the Exilium organization,
Mm-hmm. I'm
and
sorry to interrupt. What were you saying?
but yeah. So basically, what I've learned is that I would say attitude is probably one of the big things that a lot of players I see a lot of players just not have in the competitive scene. They'll have the mechanics, they'll have the knowledge, but when it comes to interacting with four other players, they just don't know what to do. They treat it like they're playing with another ranked player, and then when they do that, what ends up happening is that they don't actually like get any chemistry together, and then they don't perform as a team, and then they end up just falling out eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So team I'm with right now, we synergize, we have good chemistry, but the biggest thing of all is that our attitudes are all lined up, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, we know what it takes to be a professional player, and I think that's what I'm going to be looking for in my team is what players can really just kind of forego a lot of the things they've learned from playing Smite, like just with their friends and kind of take I don't know. I kind of lost track of what was going on from there, but yeah, that's pretty much
No,
it.
that's understandable. Ruth, I had a question for you. So,
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
boy.
I had something good
So-
going, and then it was like, nah.
He's like, I'm
Nah,
gonna
I
give a
feel ya.
speech.
Here's Panda.
He does. Yo, he's back.
Here's Panda. Let's see
Yo,
if he actually
Panda.
connects.
Oh,
Nope,
he's not even
disconnected.
here.
All right, so Ruth, David here, he's the franchise owner. So he doesn't have the option to play, but as you addressed, you will be playing.
Yeah.
Now, you said you'd be hands-on playing. How how does being a hands-on player in your position work while operating a team? Are you just
So
like calling the shots? Like, are you watching the map the whole time? Go on.
So no, I don't think that, watching the map the whole time is the best idea, but like during practices and stuff, I need to be able to like kind of see, what people are doing. So I probably won't play every single practice game just because I need to be able to kind of see like who struggles with what and, who's excelling in this. But as far as games go, like I'll be there for most of the practices and the games, I would say most of them. But I just feel like interacting with people and kind of not reteaching them, but helping them understand there's a whole nother side to Smite besides being toxic and spamming VGS and pinging people.
Geek.
Um,
Left, right, XBX, right?
yeah. So I think that comes into play a lot too, but I certainly don't have the knowledge. I was watching Davey's stream the other day and he was just phenomenal. I was kind of blown away, to be honest.
Geeked. I know,
I
right?
feel lucky.
I play Smite casually, and whenever I play with anybody that plays Susan O or basically anything I've seen Davies play, I just laugh at them.
Oh my goodness.
No lie. They're like,
I
"Hey, what are you
laugh at
doing?"
them.
I'm like, "Homie." I'm like, "Homie, slow your roll. You're not David."
So, so on one note,
So-
you said you talked about being a more hands-on player slash captain. Do you think, with you being coming from the support position, which you see a lot, you have a lot of vision on the field, you're able to rotate a lot more than say ADC, mid, or solo. Do you think that it's going to help you in that hands-on position? Because usually your support or your jungler is usually going to be your shot caller, setting objectives, calling out kills in team fights, etc., etc.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I plan to be, I think I have a pretty good knowledge of the game. I wouldn't say Davy's level, of course. He's like Smite King over there, but I have a pretty pretty good understanding, and I'm really counting also on my jungle to kind of be like almost my backup. Really, it is a team game. I do have to rely on other people, so I'm hoping that my jungle will rotate as much as I do, and we'll be in
Mhm.
a good position.
All
This is
right.
the dumb question, like the dumbest question of all. But I'm curious: do you main a specific god?
If I did, I wouldn't say it here. I'm not
True.
going to be
Alright.
offhand, so.
I fuck with it. I'm hip. David, don't you main Thor?
Yeah, I love Thor. But also, I don't really main Thor because everyone bans him. Kind of main a lot of people.
It's funny. I picked up Medusa
the
after I
wide
saw you
dog
playing
pool.
her. I main Raw. I'm duty.
So, something
Nah,
I wanted to ask
so-
real quick, just to follow up with
Mhm.
everybody here that plays Smite. Individual opinions here. Your opinion on Neza support.
Oh,
And it's
boy.
double.
Anybody can open up with this. Whoever wants to air their opinion first.
Well, I would say in the current meta right now, dual lanes kind of transitioned into a more of like a farm lane, and ADCs have moved into the mid lane because jungle pressure and mid pressure are more important than ever. Baiting
Discuss.
red buffs and baiting back camps. You know what I mean? Like having control over the mid camps is more important, and then mages can't really bring that early game. It's more you see their like early game hunters like on her, Hachiman, like those kind of high pressure hunters are being put in there because they offer that the high press. They offer the high early pressure alongside the junglers. And then when you put like the mages in the dual lane, you're basically giving them a free farm lane where they can farm to their heart's content and get to level 20 before anyone else, like 3-4 levels ahead of anyone else. And I would say when you put Najah in that dual lane, it allows your mage to have some breathing room. But normally you don't actually have the supports to dual lane anymore. Usually you have the supports rotate level 1 to say like early invade on the speed camp, go straight to mid, and like try to harass the other mid laner. So there's a lot of strategy with the new meta. But I would say Najah support where Thoth is in the meta right now is just a really good fucking support, in my opinion.
Both? You mean Thoth? Tomato, tomato?
It's those.
I had a question for
All right,
both y'all.
wait. I wanted
so-
to get
We're not done. We're not done.
Yeah, Buzzard and Roost's opinion on that.
Oh, my bad.
On a Naza support. Both of you are support mains. But in Ruth's case, she's a captain, so maybe she has somebody playing support for her team for whatever reason. If she's not available, something, and they want to play Naza support. Like, what is your feelings? Like, not just from you playing it, but from like it being played, like used in a team comp.
I mean, I'm all for comfort picks. I would rather you play somebody that you're comfortable with than force you to play somebody who's meta right now. And Davies, like that's pro meta right now what he's talking about, but I can tell you in casual games there's none of it.
Oh yeah,
um,
100%.
we
Wow,
don't really see
wasteland out
that
there.
too often. But yeah, I mean, if somebody wants to play Naja support and they're comfortable doing it and they're good with it, go ahead. Do it. That's awesome.
I mean, in my honest opinion, Naja support or Naja, you have to have. I feel like you need to have a certain, at least one or two characters around it to make it really succeed. So if you don't really have that, like it can be good. Like if the Naja player is really good and can just like open up, he'll open up the early game for you, but they don't have much experience with it. In late game, it could. You literally go alt, go down, whole team crashes on you if you don't have the right support on it. So it's kind of a risk-reward type thing if you don't have the comp for it, in my opinion.
Naja's pretty OP on Warframe. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's not even a game on here.
No, it is. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
That's one to trigger you a little. It worked. My work's done
Yo,
here.
every episode I be getting triggered. So
Thursdays.
what was my
triggers.
question? Thursdays. Triggered on Thursday. Oh yeah. So the whole reason for me wanting to get Davies and Ruth in here is because when Thursday's Thoughts started, we were in season 2 of Rocket League. So it's my hypothesis that a majority of the people that do follow the stream are Rocket League players. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to get you guys in here, ask you a few questions about Smite, so that they'd be able to understand a few of the differences. One of the big differences, if you ask me, is the fact that there not only are more players, but more positions than on Rocket League. So with that being the statement, uh, does separate positions, different positions cost more, or are they more valuable to you when you're looking for a team, when you're drafting, what have you? Who would be the most valuable position, what have you? David, what would you have to say about that?
Most valuable role in Smite? Is that what
When
you're
you're
asking?
drafting. I mean, looking at it from being a captain or franchise owner, who are you going out of your way to get? Yeah.
Well, I would say for Smite, I would say there really isn't a best position you want to go for. It's more about what the meta you want to set for your team. So if I'm looking for an invade meta, I'm probably looking at my support and my mid laner more than anything else because they're the ones that would be setting the tone for invades. But if I'm looking just to snowball the game through just out farming, I would probably pick ADC and jungle more than anything. It just depends on what you want to do with your team. Because right now, it's kind of anyone's game. I would say that it's kind of like the playstyle of what your team wants to be. Because there's no like best method or strategy. It's about what your team could do and who's the best at it. You know what I mean?
I'd like to say I do because I'm hosting Thursday's Thoughts, but I don't play Smite, so I don't know what you mean. But Ruth, what do you
Great
think about it,
answer.
Ruth?
I actually
Yeah.
really, truly, this is, I think, the first thing he said, like 100% completely in on. I actually agree. It kind of depends on what you're looking for your team. If you're looking for, like he said, a strong invade, or if you're looking for a different meta.
Mhm.
But to be honest, like for me right now, my most important is jungle. I am trying to find somebody that I know I can work with and communicate with.
Mhm. I'll play raw jungle if you want. Psych. Psych. So Kronos' pendant is my favorite item. Just so you guys know. Yeah.
That's great to know, Taylor.
Yeah. I know
So,
Psych stuff.
Great to know.
I usually get blank. I get multi pots. Stuff
Blank's
like
pretty
that.
OP.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Blink is OP. Yeah, you saw me
OP
playing
to
last night,
death.
David.
OP
Yeah.
to death.
I do damage heals on Raw. You know, I'm pretty OP.
Oh,
Oh god.
I know, right? I can hear you putting your hand on your face.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm. I don't know what to tell y'all. That's about it
Wait,
for
do we-
Thursday's thoughts. Do you guys have it? What?
Did we ever get Panda back?
No, we
No,
didn't. I invited
he's
him
out
like 2
still.
times. Yeah, he got back in. I'll just do closing statements for Panda. My name's Panda, and I'm on RGB, and I love doing stuff for Danger Knots. We're gonna win, or maybe not. I don't know yet. Everyone have a good day.
Yo, you're a
Everyone else
dick.
have any closing statements? Nah, I love Panda. I love Panda. I love you,
What a
Panda.
day.
I hope you're listening to this right now. Closing comments, Davies.
Closing comments.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, why
Wants
not?
us to
Oh,
comment on.
Panda!
Yo.
I invited him while I was talking shit. Disconnected
Ah,
again.
he's
Not
disconnected.
happening today.
Eek.
Yo, I don't know what to tell you. I'll
He's
get him on
gone.
the phone and I'll talk for him. That's what I'll do. Closing
I don't know if
comments,
you want to do
David.
that.
I did.
So do I just like say something right here, or what do I do?
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
Any closing statement here? Shout out fucking what do you
Alright.
guys call it?
Shout out to
Davies
Davies
Delinquents.
Delinquents. Dickie's doing a good job right now running his team. He's tearing up the scene right now. And shout out to my Smite team coming up. We about to set the meta and set the tone. You better watch out, Ruth. I'm coming for your team. What?
oh no.
Well, that's all I have to
Eek.
say.
Buzzard, you got any closing comments?
No, I'm good.
I just imagine him
Cool.
like screaming. He's just like,
Panda, do you have any closing comments?
he leaves.
Yeah, Ruth, you got any closing comments? You happy to be on Thursday's Thoughts?
Yeah, this was exciting. I'm excited to be here, and I just hope
Mhm.
that people hear this that have thought about playing Smite, and maybe this will kind of encourage them so that they know we're not all like toxic, cesspools. So that would be
Oh, I'm
cool.
pretty toxic.
And also, Davies, okay, friend, bring it on. I'm ready for you.
Yo,
It's gonna be a
right?
good time.
XBX,
Oh,
right?
let's go.
Sobex
This is
solo.
right XBX.
That's how you
So
laugh at Smite.
casuals? Question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't play Smite, there's like in-game commands to like talk to each other, and right
VGS.
XBX is how you laugh. You can spam laugh. Yeah, the GS, the game.
VGS.
VGS.
Davies
the
carry me in
video game
casual.
I got the
Smite.
GS. The new Nintendo
Yes,
GS.
bros.
Yeah. So yeah, Raw main signing out. Y'all have
yeah,
a good
this is
day and a
it.
good Thursday.
And then
Raw main.
we'll have
Yeah, Raw main.
week 8's matches. Oh goodness, wait, no, week 9's matches. Yeah, we'll have week 9's matches this weekend, starting Thursday to Sunday for the CGRL. We should have one or two Monday as well, more than likely, knowing scheduling. Outside of that, that's going to be all we have for today. I don't believe I'll have a stream up again until the CGRL matches. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.
I'm sorry you weren't able to do closing comments.